Hi, guys. So what have you been up to this week? Have you been mostly staying inside? I hope you've been finding things to do and not getting in too much trouble. I'll give the parents a call later. I'll check up and just see how good you've been, but I know you all. I'm sure you've been just great. Do you ever wonder, what is God really like? When we think of God, sometimes that can be a little hard to really think about what God would really be like. So I've got a book here. It's called Maybe God is Like That Too. It's written by Jennifer Grant and it's illustrated by Benjamin Schipper. It comes from Beaming Books. And they've given me permission to show it to you in this way today. So let's take a look. Maybe God is like that too. I live in the city, where the sidewalks and subway cars and buildings and buses are packed with people, but I've never seen God before. Grandma, does God live in the city? I asked one morning at breakfast. Yes, God is here, she says. You just need to know where to look. Whenever you see love, joy, and peace, God is there, she says, stirring her tea. Whenever there's patience, kindness, and goodness, God is there too. When you see faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, that's God's Spirit at work. On the way to school, I'm on the lookout. I see a bus full of tourists and count 10 bright yellow taxis. Can you see those taxis there? I spy a man sweeping a stoop, and Grandma and I laugh when we see a tiny dog wearing a fluffy purple sweater. Can you see that dog wearing the puffy little purple sweater? At school, Grandma hands me my lunch and hugs me close before she says goodbye. That's what love looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Look at that guy on the swing. On the swings, I pump so hard, I see over the wall into the alley. My friends shout, higher, higher, as my feet fly way up into the sky. That's what joy looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. Outside, car horns blast and sirens scream, but my classroom is quiet and calm. That's what peace looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I try to tie my shoes, but the laces tangle around my fingers. My teacher sits down beside me and shows me how to tie them. That's what patience looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. On the way home, I see a doorman wearing a red cape and a hat with a shiny brim. He's holding the door for a man using a wheelchair. The man moves very slowly, and the doorman chats with him and smiles. Can you see that? That's what kindness looks like to me. Maybe God looks like that too. While I'm setting the table for dinner, there's a knock at the door. It's our neighbor from downstairs, bringing us a loaf of bread. It's golden brown and warm and wrapped in a thin white towel. That's what goodness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. After dinner, I work on my homework while Grandma stands at the kitchen sink washing dishes and humming to herself, just like she does every single night. That's what faithfulness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. At bedtime, Grandma sits at the edge of my bed, singing me a lullaby and stroking my head. She tucks my blankets up close around me. That's what gentleness looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. And now it's nighttime. I lie in bed, watching the curtains flutter. I want to talk about that dog we saw today and how high I can swing, but Grandma says that once I'm tucked in, I have to stay in bed until morning. I close my eyes and try to fall asleep. That's what self-control looks like to me. Maybe God is like that too. I don't see God the way I see my friends, or the streetlights, or the river, but I see signs of God's Spirit all around me, right here in the city. I know what God is like. Maybe I can be like that too. There's a piece of scripture reading, and it comes from Galatians, and it says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Maybe that's what God is like. I think it is. Maybe that's what God is like. I hope you enjoyed that story. I have one more thing I'd like you to do for me. I'd like you to think about the questions you might have in your mind. What are you thinking about? Do you have any questions about God or Jesus or about any other thing that you'd like to ask me? If you or your parents can send me those questions or let me know what they are, then next Sunday I'm going to answer them. All right? You guys have a great day today.